Hello, folks. Welcome to Scratch the Surface. I'm EJ Scott. Today, my guest is Ike Barinholtz, the hilarious actor, writer, producer, director, improviser, jack of all trades, person that I've known for about 15 years. But it's another one of those situations where I know somebody for a long time, but I don't know them well. And so it was really great to have Ike sit down at the table here and talk with me for over an hour. I haven't seen him in a few years, and he's just blowing up from left and right. Before I get into what we talked about, let me give myself a plug. Follow me on Twitter at EJ Scott and at EJ Podcast, Instagram EJ Scott1106, website ejscott.com. There's a documentary about me called Running Blind on iTunes and Amazon and Google Play. It's digital copies, and for $2 or $3 you can rent it or own it. And it is about me running 12 marathons in 12 months in 2012. Why would I do such a thing? Well, I am losing my eyesight to an eye disease called choroideremia, and I'm going blind. And I believe Ike even was a part of some one or two fundraisers I had many, many years ago at IO West. So in 2012, I'm always trying to raise money and awareness. So in 2012, I ran 12 marathons in 12 states in 12 months, all blindfolded, because my eyes are sunlight sensitive. So that was kind of necessary for my own comfort. So I did that, and it was, and luckily I was able to get a 30-minute documentary made about it. So go check it out. It's very well done. And I can't believe I did that. So go watch some crazy person run 12 marathons in a year. So there you go. And now Ike came over, and we had a great time talking. We talked a lot about improv and comedy. He wrote, directed, and starred and produced his new movie called The Oath, which opens in theaters October 12th. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I'll let him talk about what the movie's about. It's got a great cast, though. Tiffany Haddish is in it. It's pretty awesome. I love her. So go check that out. We talk also about Donald Trump. He's very political, so we talk politics a little bit. There was even a time in his life where he thought about being a politician, and he played basketball with Barack Obama sometimes. So he had a good story about that. This is pre-Senate, pre-presidency, pre-Senate in Chicago. So he's born and raised in Chicago. We talk improv and going to IO West and Second City and seeing some of these great comedy all-stars in their early years. We talk about his love of pot and the origins of that. Doing movies with Seth Rogen, and he even auditioned for a part that Seth Rogen got in the Steve Jobs movie. We talk about a lot of stuff. We even play the movie trivia game at the end, where it appears I win. Or do I? So you'll check that out. And I just had a great time talking with Ike. Go see his movie on October 12th, and then go see it again on October 13th, because I'm sure it's hilarious. This podcast was recorded on September 12th, 2018. I wanted to wait until a few days before the movie came out to release it. So from September 12th, 2018, this is my talk with Ike Barinholtz. Hi, Ike.
Hi, man.
How's it going?
Good, pal. How are you?
It's been a while since I've seen you. Last time I saw you was at the Celebrity Superfan Roundtable.
No, that's not true.
Yeah,
that was too long ago.
Howard Stern. Yeah, it was like 3 years or so.
That was like 3 years ago with that cool building over on La Brea.
Yep.
That was the only time I got to speak to the late great Eric the actor. I think Jeff Probst, I believe, was hosting that thing, and he called in Eric, and Eric was trying to get us to buy him shit on his Amazon wish list and stuff. And
Did you buy anything?
I think I did. I think we all chipped in like $100 there. I mean, you know what though? We might have said in the moment, yeah, let's do it. But then Eric didn't have his request in order. You know what I mean? He nothing ever worked out with Eric. So I think at the end of the day, we didn't. So
there's a case of orange Gatorade that got bought.
It was like water. I remember it was like just like bottles of water, and I was like, "Oh my god, is this like a FEMA situation or something? What do you need, man?"
I'm so thirsty.
It was. God bless.
I'm a huge Stern fan too.
Yes.
How long you been a Stern fan?
I first started listening to Howard Stern I remember the first time I actually heard him was, this is probably like 1991 or 1992, and he was doing Homeless Jeopardy, I believe, or Homeless Wheel of Fortune. I can't remember. And I remember like laughing really hard. And my little brother, who was younger than me and obviously more sensitive, John Barinholtz, he started crying. And he was like, "It's not nice. He's making fun of them." And I was like, "Shut up. It's hilarious." And so, I listened to him. I really started listening every day when I went to college, and then worked after I got kicked out of college. I went to work for the CTA in Chicago, Chicago Transit Authority. And I would have, I remember this like yellow portable radio, and we were on the 7th floor of the Merchandise Mart, and we were right in the middle of the like kind of the floor, and you really had to angle your antenna the right way to get a clear signal. And but I would listen to it, and I at first I would just have it on, and then one day my boss came by and Howard was talking about dildos or something, and my boss was like, "You can't have that on," so I had like a little earpiece in, but I listened to the whole show most days, and I still listen to it, and I'm going back on in
pretty soon, right?
A few weeks, I think, and I can't wait. He's really a great guy, and been really nice to me. So
I've listened to all your appearances. You kill on the show.
Oh, thanks,
and
man.
And as a fan of the show,
yes.
You come on and you're such a fan. You're such a nerdy fan.
Yeah,
it's so fun.
Maybe too nerdy.
Well, you do.
Like I was asking him questions about the show that he didn't even know. He's like, "I don't fucking know the show." But I definitely, still when I go there, I've been there 4 or 5 times. Every time I go, I'm still like, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm talking to Jason Kaplan.
Fuck you, dude.
Fuck you, dude. Fuck you, dude.
Did you ever get to play Win Fred's Money? Did that ever happen?
No. Oh, I should tell them I want to do that. But I gotta win, man. If I go on and play Win Fred's Money and I lose, especially like lose badly, like if I got one right, I would just be like in such a bad mood. That's the kind of shit that haunts me. Like I'm in this daily trivia league. And it's really cool. You get like 6 questions in the morning, and there's no prize.
Yeah.
There's no prize. But if I get like a 1 out of 6 or a 2 out of 6, I'm like pissed. And my wife is like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, I forgot that Chopin was, died at 46. And she's like, "What the fuck are you talking about, dude? 3 children."
What? I mean, maybe you shouldn't play in that anymore.
No,
it's so stressful.
I love it. I know. You know why? Because I got 5 out of 6 today, and I fucking was tap dancing all morning. It felt so good, man. Oh,
is it like an app or something?
No, it's this great thing where you like. I got invited to be in it. I'll send you a rec if you want to do it. It's great. You get an email, and it's kind of this like secret thing.
Society?
It's a society.
Do I have to cut all this out?
It's the Masons. It's the Freemasons. You have to be a Freemason. No, it's they send you an email and you click it and it sends you to a link and you have like these 6 questions and it's all the honor system and it's
no Googling.
No Googling, no cheating, no talking to anyone about it. You just answer them, and then the trick is you have to assign. You go head to head and you assign the points for the other player you're playing. So I look at you if I'm playing you, and I'm like, okay, well, I see that EJ gets around 75% of questions about film right, but he gets like 20% of science questions right. Well, we have a science question, so I'm going to give you, if you get that science question right, you get 3 points. But if you get the who was Riff in West Side Story, you get 1 or 0. Russ Tamblyn. Yeah, it's a great game, and I really look forward to it every morning.
Well, you know what's so funny that you're talking about trivia. The first time we met, that I introduced myself to you, was after you were hosting Armando at iOS.
Yep. And the late great iOS.
Late great. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Rest in power. Rest in power, iOS.
But you were talking on stage about something that happened to you where you were set up to... You were hosting, so you were monologizing, and you were talking about this game show network called Hollywood Showdown.
Yes.
And you were going to be on it for season 2.
Yes.
And you weren't because it got canceled.
They got canceled. They canceled the show.
And the exact same thing happened to me with that show. I had called right before I moved to LA, and I answered all the questions.
I think I got every question right.
I got 19 out of 20.
Yeah.
And she was like, "But you're great. And if the show comes back, you can be on it."
And I don't know about you, but for me, that wasn't like, that seems like a fun thing to do. That was like, I need money.
Me too.
I desperately need money. There's a weird phase when you move to LA where you're like, your primary goal is to get on a game show because you're desperate, man.
Yeah.
Like it's impossible. I tried. I remember I drove out to take. Oh God, this was 20 years ago almost. I drove out to take the Jeopardy test. I drove out to Culver City, and I took the test, and I got the really hard test. I think you have to get 35 out of 50. I think it's a 50 question thing.
Okay.
And they don't tell you exactly what you got, but I know that I must have gotten 35. No more, because there was at least a dozen questions that I was like, I have no fucking clue. Anyways, I passed that, and then they were like, okay, we're on hiatus, because it was in like July or something, and they're like, but what we'll do is if you pass the test, we'll call you, come back in, you play a mock game, we see how you are on camera. And I was like, oh. So they called me, and they were like, be at Culver. It was like a 10 a.m. thing. They're like, don't be late. And I will never forget, I like left way too late. I didn't know LA very well, and I was like stuck in like the worst LA traffic, the worst fucking LA traffic. And I'd never forget, this old woman I was trying to make a right turn, and she was in front of me trying to make a right turn, and then she stopped and wanted to go all the way to the left lane, which is fucking impossible. And I was screaming. It took like 9 minutes. I was screaming at her. Screaming at this old woman. Who knows? She could have been fucking trying to go to the doctor. I was like, you fucking old bitch. I was out of control. I was a different time. But I missed I couldn't get in. I was crushed. I was like furious because that was my out. I was going to go on Jeopardy and win. And then Hollywood Showdown fucking was like, no, we're not even doing the show anymore.
Hollywood Showdown was... For guys like us, it was ABCs of...
It was pretty basic.
It was the most basic. Yeah. They even got stuff wrong.
Yeah, I remember they'd be like, no, that's not true.
They were like, who's the director of Tim Burton's like Nightmare Before Christmas?
Right.
And I'm like, it's not Tim Burton. But that's what they said it was. I was like, it's Henry Selick.
I think they had big problems. And that's why the show ended, but I was very crushed.
But whoever won got like 10 grand.
I know, it was 10 grand to answer like rudimentary movie questions. It was like my dream. And then I called and got it right there, like, okay, this is happening. And in my mind, I was like, oh, I'm going to pay rent on time, and I'm going to order the decent Chinese place and get some good food. And then the show folded.
And you're born and raised Chicago?
Yes, sir. Born and raised. I grew up. I was born in an area called Rogers Park, and now, then when I was like 6 or 7, we moved to Uptown. I guess you could call it Lakeview. There's so many neighborhoods in Chicago, and the neighborhoods have their own neighborhoods. So it's like, if you get it wrong, people will correct you. So if you say, like, I grew up in Uptown. Oh, where? Oh, Boynton and Clarendon. Well, technically that's Boynton Park. So, really more Lakeview than Uptown, but whatever. So, I grew up in the city, and I still go back a lot. I love it. Great city.
Did you work on your accent, like losing it? Because you don't really have...
I don't really have it. I have it when it comes out. If I go to Chicago, if I'm there for like 11 minutes, it starts coming out. And then if I get mad, the Chicago accent really lends itself to anger.
Yeah.
So I'll get mad. I'll say to my wife, like, I got a fucking ticket on fucking Larchmont. I was parked for 2 fucking minutes. Cocksucker came over. I didn't fucking see him.
He was on my car.
God damn it! Now I got to fucking protest this shit. But I'm still so Chicago. I just saw today that this company called Lincoln Towing Company, which is the fucking worst, most awful towing company. They were the guys that would tow you illegally, and they would fucking double charge you, and they just got shut down by the city of Chicago today. So it just shows you that I haven't lived there for almost 20 years, and I'm still like, yeah, fuck you, Lincoln Towing.
How was it growing up there? Did you love it?
I loved it, man. It was a great time. We're so lucky to grow up, and I think we're close-ish to that. You're younger than me, but
no, I'm older than you.
You're older than me?
Yep.
You look younger. I'm really consider myself to be very lucky to have been a little kid in the 80s and a teenager in the 90s. I think it really was just it was very safe. It was a very safe time to be a kid. And even though I didn't grow up in a great neighborhood, it was a little rough, but there was no you could go to school and not worry about getting shot, and growing up in Chicago was just, especially once Michael Jordan showed up. I'm a big sports fan, and the 80s and 90s couldn't have been a better. If only the Cubs could have pulled out maybe one World Series in fucking 1984, that would have been great. But we had the 85 Bears, and then Michael Jordan really was there, and
the Super Bowl Shuffle.
The greatest hip hop song ever. Everyone agrees with that. But yeah, to grow up in Chicago in the 80s and 90s, you probably played a lot of basketball. Me and my friends would play basketball just all day.
Did you ever run into Barack Obama?
I did. I played basketball with Barack Obama for years. So there's this big gym. I talked about this on Howard once. There was a big gym in Chicago called the East Bank Club. Really nice gym, and I don't know how we got in there, but we would go, and they had these 2 beautiful full basketball courts. And every day at noon and 4:30, you get all these different guys from all over the city, and some women too. And you play big old pickup, just pickup games. You go to 11 or 15, and you had a guy kind of running the court, make sure there were no fights, and there always were fights. But you would have a stockbroker, or you would have just random older Chicago rich dudes. But then you had just some regular people that paid some kind of dues to get in there, and there was this one guy who just skinny black dude we played with a lot, really nice guy, but he I remember he yelled at my partner Dave one time. My partner went up to him, and he was like, "Hey, don't you fucking undercut me, kid." But we played with him, and never really I fucking wish I could go back in time now and be like, hey, let's be best friends. Is that cool? You just go about your life. I'm not going to interfere in any way, but just remember that you and I are really good friends. And then, yeah, I remember in 2002, he was running for Senate. My dad was really excited because we knew someone who was running for Senate, and he was running against a guy named something Ryan.
Paul Ryan.
Not Paul Ryan. It honestly, it might be Jack Ryan, not Tom Clancy's character, but I think they might have been Jack Ryan.
Okay.
And he was a Republican, and he was probably going to win, and he had a sex scandal and had to bounce, and so all of a sudden it was Obama was unopposed, and all these people were like, Mike Dicka's going to run, and Dicka's like, yeah, I'll run, I'll do it, and then he bailed, and then I think Alan Keyes ran, and anyways, yada yada yada. Cut to 2004, Barack Obama gives that historical speech at the DNC convention, and and in all those years since he's been president, and now that he's not, he has never once reached out to me, and it sucks.
That's kind of he's a phony.
He's a phony. That's why I came on your pod, man, is to be like, Obama's a phoney.
And you're a Republican now.
Hey, MAGA. MAGA. Look at my tattoo.
Oh, yeah, it's MAGA.
Yeah, man. Gotta represent.
Well, I read that you were thinking of being a politician growing up.
I did, yeah, no.
How close to that?
Not really. I just loved it. My dad was kind of...
Your dad was an attorney.
He was an attorney, not like a big corporate attorney. He was like a local small attorney, but he had his own small firm. He worked really hard, and he was tangentially involved in some local politics. Chicago's broken up into, the neighborhoods are called wards, basically, or the districts are called wards, and each ward has its own alderman or alderwoman and a committee person. And so my dad was kind of friends. Our ward was the 43rd ward. So on election day, I would go to the polling place, and it was so cool. Like, I just was like, I'm talking like 4, 5, 6. It was just so cool, You see people volunteering, and they're excited, and people are dressed up a little bit, and there's donuts and popcorn, and the politicians. I just remember thinking, there was a guy named, I think his name was Zenich or Zenkich, and he was some guy, I don't even know what he was running for, and he had a comb that had his name on it. And he said, now when you comb your hair, you'll think of Zenich. And but I remember watching them talk to their constituents, and it sounds cheesy, but I remember seeing constituents, the hope in their eyes, talking to this politician who they need help from them, or they are inspired by them, or they're complaining, and I'm sure most of those guys are in jail now, most of those politicians in West Chicago, but there was something very attractive about it to me, not just in terms of power, but in terms of you're able to help people, and people will come to you for help, and you can help them. I was very enamored by that, and I still kind of maintain that throughout my teenage years, and I specifically didn't smoke pot in high school because I was worried that if I was ever president, Bill Clinton got in trouble for it, blah blah blah.
Well, that's changed.
That changed right when I went to college. And I was like, someone was like, here, try this pot, and I was like, oh, I love it, it's amazing, and I started smoking it incessantly. So that really, college, kind of the wheels came off the bus a little bit, and it was kind of clear that there was no
Boston University, which I didn't love Boston University. I loved Boston as a city, but the program I was in at BU, I didn't love it, and I was lost. What were you studying?
Nothing even. I got booted before I could even pick a major. But I that year that I was there, I really did. I for a couple weeks, I really rarely left my dorm, and I would just watch movies over and over and over again. Movies that I had seen before, 2001, Reservoir Dogs and stuff, and Karate Kid for some reason. There's a lot of these movies, and I was, something clicked during that time where I was like, I want to do something else. I want to do movies or acting. That feels like something I'd rather do than I'm not going to be a politician. And then I went and saw, after I got booted, my dad took me to see the IO's, either 10th or 15th anniversary, and
at the Vic Theater,
and it blew me away. It was like, it was that moment, we have those moments in our lives where what you're watching is going to affect you profoundly. And
so that one was better than the 25th show.
Well, in the sense that people could hear it. Other than that, but I remember watching, I didn't know who anyone was. None of them were really famous.
Who do you know now?
I know that Amy Poehler was there, Adam McKay was there. The person who made me laugh the hardest was Tim Meadows. He was so funny. He did this long bit about the movie Solo, starring Mario Van Peebles, what I call the original Solo. And he was so funny. And I remember thinking oh fuck, that guy just was so funny. And all he did was just talk about a movie. You know what I mean? And I was like, I improv seems like a good fit. And
he wasn't on SNL yet.
He was not on SNL yet.
Wow, okay.
He was not on SNL yet. Oh, no, he was on SNL yet. Yeah, he was. He was one of the guys that came back for it. He came back for it. Farley shot a piece for it, I remember, and I remember he mooned us. It was really funny. But that night, I was like, okay, I want to learn this craft.
So how old are you then? You're 19?
18. 17, 18. 18.
So up until then, you lived in Chicago, but never really...
I went to Second City
when
I was younger, when I was in high school with my acting class. And I remember laughing. The the people we saw, who I had no idea who they were then, were Steve Carell, Steve Colbert, Dave Wazowski, these fucking legends.
Yeah. Amy Sedaris, probably.
Amy Sedaris. Here's the problem, is that when I was 15, I think when we went, like, I think the only thing I cared about was, like, basketball and, like, trying to hook up with a girl. So, like, I remember, like, being in the theater and seeing them do, like, a couple sketches that made me laugh, but I was just, like trying to, like, talk to girls and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I really, like, I wish I had a time machine. I could go back and just, like, appreciate it and be like, oh, that's what I want to do now. I know that I want to do this now at 14 or 15 as opposed to, 18 or so.
Boner down.
Yeah, push my boner to tape it. I would tape my boner around, But yeah, other than that, no. Like, I never went. My parents did, because you know the great improviser Kevin Dorff.
Oh, yeah.
You know Dorff, yeah. His sister and my dad went to law school together. So my parents, I would remember, like, 91, 92, once in a while, they would come home and I would be babysitting my brother and they'd be like, we saw the funniest show. It was so funny. It was weird. And, like, I'm sure they were talking about, like, Jazz Freddy or Lois Kaz or one of those great old, I think, like, that 1990 to 1992, 93 Chicago scene really established long-form improvisation as an art. And then there were these kind of seminal groups that came out of that, and I'm sure they saw one of them. And I, like I said, I wish I could go back and be like, can I go with you guys? We'll get a babysitter? But no, I was too busy trying to see a tit.
On a scrambled channel.
A scrambled channel or like a photocopy of a Playboy, it was impossible. But yeah, so really that was an eye-opening thing. And from there I went into classes, and it was kind of tough at first because everyone was older. Everyone was 3-4 years older, and no one wanted to kind of talk to me. Yeah. But I would go I went to the Armando Diaz show every single Monday at I.O. Chicago from, like, 96 to 98. I mean, I went every Monday, and then I started playing in it and stuff. And but it was going every Monday and watching it. That was, like, that, and watching those people. This is, like, right when UCB just left, so you had, like, your Kevin Dorffs and your Tina Feys and your Neil Flynn's and Horatio and Dratch and all these just titans of the form, and that, and also I got a job at Second City as a busboy, like a host, and that was the best job too, because you could go there and you had to do a little bit of work, but you could drink on the job. Like, I would get bombed, smoke pot upstairs on the roof, and then you would get to watch fucking Scott Adsit and Tina Fey and Brian Stack and just these, like, legendary.
Bob Odenkirk, probably.
Odenkirk was a little before. Yeah, I my first Second City show that I saw when I worked there was Citizen Gates, which was right after Paradigm Lost, and I got there on Scott Allman's last night, and Jim Zulovic, the late great Jim Zulovic, replaced him. And so there was just I worked there for a year and a half, and then there was just, and then, like, the improv sets, the tour codes would come in and it'd be like, Rich Tellerico is in the fucking touring company. It was really a great time to be in Chicago and in that world. I learned so much. Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Really fun.
So your parents had they like comedy.
Yeah.
So you grew up joking around.
Yeah. My dad, like, used to do, like, stand up.
Really?
Yeah, he loved comedy or theater majors, and he, I think he was like, well, I'm gonna, be an actor and a comedian. And I think, he had already married my mom, and he was giving it a shot, and she got pregnant. I think it was one of those things where he was like, what do I do here? Do I go to law school and make that steady, income so I can have a life for my family, or do I go on the road and shit? And I think luckily he chose the former. And I like to think that he kind of gave up his showbiz dreams for me. So that's why I'm bringing him back into showbiz, and he is the star of it. No, I'm kidding. I shouldn't even say this, because he is. He's a great actor, and I'm going to put him in something one day.
Well, you ruined his career.
I ruined his career. My very existence ruined his career, and I have to make amends.
Well, he must be very proud of you and your brother.
Yeah, and they were really mad when I first, got kicked out or dropped out of school. They were really pissed, but God bless them.
Which was it? Was it?
It was a true definition of like, you're fired, I quit. Like, I stopped going to class and like I didn't want to do it and I got in trouble a bunch. And they were like, we don't want you to come back. And I was like, I don't want to come back. No, they said, we don't want you to come back. I said, I want to come back. And then they were like, okay, you have to retake 4 classes. And I was like, I don't want to come back. And, but my parents, God bless them, they came and they I would say like 100% support. Like some parents are like 10%, some parents are 50%. They were like 100%. And they would come to almost every show. And I got to tell you, man, a lot of those, early improv shows that you start doing, you go through Improv Olympic, you go through your 5 or IO, you go through your 4 or 5 levels and you start performing. As long as you're not a complete, disaster, you're gonna probably perform, and you get put on like one of those early, class teams. Mm-hmm. And some of those shows were, not one funny thing happened. They were right. Fucking terrible.
Yeah. And
God bless my parents. They would come and they would always, be encouraging, and I'm so grateful to them, and at least now when they come here, I can take them to like an office or something. They don't have to go to like a comedy club. Watch me fucking bomb.
They get to go to a movie theater.
They go to a movie theater. My dad gets to meet the actors he likes. So
you get a show on every week.
Yeah, he gets to watch his kids. So so they were. I really lucked out with the old parental support.
That's really nice. And they were liberals as well, correct?
My parents were.
That's what I read.
My parents were liberal. They were Kennedy liberals, who I think like a lot of people got a little bit. Oh, Ronald Reagan's kind of an interesting guy. And then they very quickly were like, oh, Ronald Reagan's a piece of shit. And then they've been, Democrats ever since then, and they only are getting more and more liberal as they get older because that's they're good people.
Is there anybody in your family that is a Trump supporter? Or voted for Trump?
I got a lot of family in Ohio, and not like Cleveland or Columbus, kind of in the south central part, kind of in a rural part between Dayton and Cincinnati, and I know a lot of them voted for Trump. I haven't really talked a lot of politics with them since. My hope would be that now they are like, oh, we really don't like him. Because they're like, there's conservatives and then there's Trump supporters.
Yeah.
And like, to me, it's like, look, the baseline for conversation for me right now is like, do you support Donald Trump? Like, I don't give a fuck if you voted for him in 2016. I don't give a shit. Like, are you on September 12th, 2018, do you look at what he's doing and think it's good? Because if you do, you and I are not going to have a lot to talk about, unfortunately. And I don't think, normally I think in normal circumstances, you can move past that shit. You can find commonality and common ground, and you can find things you don't, you agree on that are not about politics, but I don't fucking want to. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm just like, we are in a crisis, and we're taking a very deep turn here.
Yeah.
But we're in a crisis, and I just feel like if you are someone who's like, I love Donald Trump, you're aggressively saying, I don't give a fuck about what anyone else thinks. I don't give a fuck about your version of America. And I think if you meet that behavior with acceptance and listening, you will get taken advantage of. And we have to protect ourselves, and we have to remember that this is our country, and this kind of silent minority, I think should stay fucking silent. You know what I mean? Like if you are someone who thinks that that there's a white fucking genocide, and that Democrats are pedophiles, and you're going to support an actual pedophile, and you don't give a fuck about the environment, and you hate Muslims, and you think Black Lives Matters is a fuck. If these are the things that you believe and you wear them on your sleeve, I want you isolated. Fucking stay by yourself. I'm not going to let you taint my life. I'm not going to let you bring that shit into my life. So luckily, I don't have relatives like that. I don't think. But maybe
you're not positive.
Maybe I'm not positive. Well, I know there's a couple on my. On some other side, I don't want to kind of cast aspersions, but like I wouldn't be surprised if my uncle, who I don't have the best relationship with on my dad's side, maybe he is a Trump guy. I don't know. Maybe I hope not. But I really during these times you try to look at people who inspire you, and obviously people who are fighting the good fight and trying to really fix this country because it's broken right now. I have nothing but love for it. And I'm also like not one of those people on the left who's like, fuck anyone who's center right or even the center. Like that's stupid and self-destructive. Like those people have so much more in common with you, and they also like to me is like, I'm sorry, if you fucking hate Donald Trump and you think he is an existential threat to the United States, like we're allies. I don't care if you voted for George W. Bush and worked in his I don't like George W. Bush. I think he was an awful, terrible, shitty president. I don't like really anything about him, but at least he was a fucking human being and he had some dose of humanity. So I'm not one of those people on the far left who's like, if you don't agree exactly with what I'm saying, you're part of the problem. I think that's not equally destructive, but just stupid. It's just fucking stupid. It's like if you're in a war, get your allies together and fight. Don't we keep isolating ourselves more and more into whatever group fits our need at that moment. You know what I mean? So I think that's not a good way to move forward.
Do you think you will run in 2020 should the country call out?
I'm glad this is why we're here today. Because I am formally
we take
announcing,
an oath. We take
an oath that I will defend America from her enemies. I'm not going to run in 2020. The funny thing is for years I was like, I can't be president. I've done too many bad things. But now, like, the worst person ever is president. So, like, literally anyone can be, as long as you haven't, like, with your bare hands murdered someone.
And even then,
who the fuck knows now?
He did say I could go on Fifth Avenue.
I could shoot somebody. Yeah, man. I'm not running in 2020. I'm very anxious to see who will, but
who you hoping for? Who'd you like?
Who do I hope for? Who would I like? Tina Fey. Oh my god! If I could really like legitimately pick showbiz people, there's so many that would be good presidents, and terrible. I don't even know. I don't even know. I mean, my dream would be like to have like a president like Beto O'Rourke. I think he's like the real deal. I really genuinely believe in him as a person and a politician. I don't know if he's kind of has enough of a profile to do it. I mean, one thing that my head will explode is if there is another Bernie Hillary situation. Like my fucking head will explode. If Democrats can't get their fucking shit together and galvanize and pick someone, even if it's not the perfect person you like, you know what I mean? Like fucking full throat, get behind it. This is our person. To me, the person that I think would have the least trouble with that is Elizabeth Warren. I think she's so smart and I think she's tough. And I know some people like she would get creamed by Trump, but like, would she? I don't know. Trump has already like gone after her nonstop for 2.5 years. You know what I mean?
Trump is such a loudmouth and such a steamroller that you need, I don't know, maybe you need somebody that's much of a loudmouth. That sounds crazy.
I think she is a loudmouth, though. I think she looks like a old church librarian, but she's like, she's so vocally, says this is insane what's happening. And like, to me, if we have a Democrat who's just kind of given that cookie cutter, like God bless, but like Tim Kaine, like if it's someone like that, we're fucked. Yeah. And I like Tim Kaine, but I just like it's got to be someone who I think really inspires, confidence. And maybe that's not Liz Warren. I don't know, but if it is, a celebrity like I'll put it this way. I will not move to Canada if Trump wins in 2020. I might have like Mark Cuban or Michael Avenatti does. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fucking sick of like either like reality TV people or fucking moguls being president. Like, I want a fucking poor president who like looks like, who'd be great for me, but he won't run, is Sherrod Brown from Ohio. He's a senator from Ohio. And he's like, I love him. He's like a real true progressive, but he's Midwestern and he looks like shit. His voice sounds like shit. Like, he would be great, but I don't think he'll run.
Don't you think the best people won't run because it's such a shit show to become a politician?
The thing is this, No, I don't agree with that. There are some people like, all politicians are liars. That's so fucking stupid. Like, that's not true. Like, intrinsically, politicians, not you.
Yeah.
But I know people on Twitter or people that I know, like, oh, they're all liars. Like, no, they're not. That's not the case. Like, do you have to compromise when you're a politician? Of course. Otherwise, you're a terrible fucking leader. Do you have to bullshit? Yeah, that's part of it. But I don't know, man. I feel like...
Does this keep you up at night sometimes?
Yeah. I mean, it never did. I always was fascinated in politics. I've been tweeting about politics for a decade. But this is the first time in my lifetime. Like, I remember my parents being like, oh, man, Cuban Missile Crisis and Watergate was so weird because we didn't know where we stood as a country of our safety and security. And that idea was always so foreign to me. It was so... I never thought about the country, being run by a despot, or I never thought of, any of that stuff really. And now I do. I think like, we have we've had dumb presidents and we've had evil presidents, but we never had a dumb evil president. Right. And that's just so bad because it's someone who doesn't understand, the duties and makes terrible decisions, combined with someone who's doing bad things and dealing with bad people and makes no apologies about it. And that's a very, Richard Nixon was I think a bad guy, but I think he's a pretty smart guy. Mm-hmm. I mean, he kind of was losing it towards the end a little bit. Yeah. I think, I'm reticent to say it, but I think George Bush was a dumb guy who, even though like his presidency was a complete fucking calamity and he's responsible for the deaths of millions of people and he should really not be brought back into the public eye, I don't think he was like an evil person. Yeah. I might have said that a long time ago, but now when you look at what true evil is, there's anyone who says Donald Trump and George W. Bush they're both the same amount of that's crazy. We now know the threat. We know what happens when the worst person comes in charge, and so it does. I worry about it sometimes.
And you have 3 daughters.
Yeah, I have little kids and shit, and I don't want one of the worst things about Trump, in my opinion, is that he has emboldened cruelty. Mm-hmm. People back then, we've been kind of trying to get to a point in society where you didn't exactly say everything on your mind lest you hurt someone's feelings or you offend someone or you make someone's day worse or whatever. But now we have a guy who is like, I do it and I won. And you have people now who are like we see every day there's a new video of like some old white bitch fucking calling a Muslim woman, get out of my country, or some fucking, guy in a subway being like, you N-word, and it's just like that's not a coincidence that we're seeing that more and more. Yeah. It's not. It's because people now feel it's okay.
As much as like the Me Too movement has empowered people, this has empowered
100%. So I still try to, be optimistic and hope that, cooler heads will eventually prevail and people around the country. And I think, for the record, like, the more and more I read, people are not happy. Like, they're not happy. They're not happy with Donald Trump. Like, Trump supporters are happy, but they're going to, no matter what, he could, like, smear shit on his face and they'd be like, it's my president. But like people who kind of maybe a year or two ago were like, let's give him a chance, now are like, yeah, he sucks. Yeah. So all I can hope is that those people really are
my whole family voted for him.
Whole family.
Almost everybody.
Fuck. Where are you from?
Long Island.
Long Island.
So,
what part of Long Island?
Huntington. Well, Huntington.
That's where we shot the movie Sisters.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Oh. Huntington, Oyster Bay, and
I'm sorry to hear
that. Somewhere else, I can't remember. Yeah, Long Island's weird. You'll probably hit like a town that's like super liberal once in a while, but then you'll find towns that are just like hardcore, like it's like Staten Island kind of like just hardcore. Like
there's a lot of race. Like looking back now, I'm like, oh wow, there's so much racism.
Dude, I'm from Chicago, and I think Long Island's fucking racist.
My best friend growing up had a Confederate flag hanging in his bedroom.
Well, Huntington, Long Island was one of the strongholds of the Confederacy. I think that's where Stonewall Jackson was shot by his own troops. Was right on Route 4.
Route 110.
It's ridiculous Confederate flags.
That's interesting.
It's interesting, and like, look, I don't know. At the end of the day, like, I made this movie, and the movie is very inspired by what's happening in the world right now, The Oath, and originally the message of the film was, look, we can't let our external forces affect our internal situations, right? Don't let the president affect your family. But then, like, throughout the process of, shooting or writing it and shooting it and editing it and releasing it, it's getting worse and worse and worse. And a lot of times things that are alluded to in the movie fucking happen in real life. So the message of the movie, I'm still trying to maintain that it's don't let your family go, but it's also now this shit is happening. And, like, I don't want to tell someone, like, hey, if your uncle's like, fuck you, I fucking love, if your uncle wears his MAGA hat to the Thanksgiving table, you can cut him loose.
Yeah.
You can cut him loose.
Is that the message of the movie?
That's message A. That's message C.
That's the post-credit scene?
It's me talking to camera. No, but it really is. Like, I do think what I was trying to say is at the end of the day, like, this is going to pass, and we're going to have a country when Donald Trump is not president, and there's going to be horrible candidates coming up, and Trumpism will never fully die. Like, it's here forever now. And, if you identify that you could still, like, work with this friend or family member and you could still try to pull them back in, try. That really is the movie.
I'm going to go to Thanksgiving for the first time in a few years.
Wow.
And I think mostly we won't talk politics.
It'll come up.
It'll probably come up because there is one person.
Someone will make a joke.
Somebody in my family can't help themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that person interviewing me right now?
No. This person I'm thinking of
is on the other side of the fence.
Is on the other side of the fence,
yeah.
And says, like, just has, like, Tourette's of, like, racist comments.
Racist Tourette's.
Yeah, racist Tourette's. It's I think he was born with it.
Yep.
I don't think
it's not learned.
Contagious.
It's not contagious.
Sexually transmitted.
I might be sexually transmitted. Don't fuck racist. You'll end up racist.
But I'm a little nervous about it. I'll be honest.
I mean, honestly, look.
Maybe Tiffany Haddish can go with me.
She will. I'm able to confirm that now. She will. Look, again, I'm not telling anyone what to do. I think, like, the conventional wisdom and probably the better advice is try to make it through and do what you need to do. You need to have a drink. You need to eat an extra piece of pie. Take a little hoot off the vape pen. But, like, if you find yourself in that position, like if I found myself in a position where I'm at a table with a bunch of family and friends and everyone's on Trump and people start fucking taking shots, like, I know me. And, like, at some point I'm going to be like, hey, all of your brains are fucking broken. And you're all stuck in this fucking homogeneous little bubble. And you're fucked.
Can I just FaceTime with you? Maybe I could do
that. Man. Or I'll Cyrano de Bergerac you. All right, now call your cousin a fucking idiot.
Throw some stuffing at him.
Yeah. Okay, now storm out.
Well, what made you want to write this movie?
It's funny. I was after Thanksgiving. A
couple of years ago.
Yeah, after the election, I always have a big Thanksgiving at my house with my family and stuff and friends. And after dinner, there was a little bit of booze, that post-dinner drinking. And my mom and my brother and I got in this argument. And, it wasn't like a bad argument, but we were all kind of blaming each other. And the crazy thing is we were all on the fucking same side, right? Was
it political?
Yeah, political. It was about the election, We all voted for Hillary Clinton, and quite enthusiastically. My brother was more of a Bernie guy, I think, at first, but when she became the nominee, like, he went to fucking Indiana to campaign for her and knock on doors. My mom, like, been supporting her for years. I loved her. I gave her, money and helped out and shit. But we were all fighting. And my brother was like, fucking Bernie would have won. And I'm like, that's bullshit. Bernie fucking shanghaied the whole thing. And my mom was like, well, you're both wrong. They completely forgot about the Midwest. And it just struck me. I was like, Jesus, we are on the same side and we're arguing. What the fuck is going on in other homes? And then after talking to like other people and finding out these horror stories about like how, they got in a fight and all this old shit comes out, the idea of a politically charged Thanksgiving just seemed like a very good idea for a movie. And then as it kind of I was sitting with it, I was like, I want it to be bigger. I want it to be bigger than just the dynamics of a family. I wanted some federal policy to be kind of overshadowing this. So there's a specter of this is the first step in a downward, slope of what's it called? Dystopia, right? Mm-hmm. I love dystopia films. I love Children of Men. I love it. And I'm always wondering, like, what's the genesis of all this? How did this start? How do we get here? So I kind of started folding in, and thinking more about kind of the concept of an authoritarian state and what are the first steps in that. And then it just kind of the concept of the oath and having the deadline be the deadline to sign the day after Thanksgiving. It just gave me a really nice, container for this story. And I wrote it. I normally write with Dave Stassen, but I wrote this by myself. And
because screw him, right?
Because fuck him, man. Really. No. I think like we write comedies together, and I think writing a comedy like a big studio comedy with another person is maybe the most fun thing in the world. If it's someone you love and who's a great writer, it's great because you just get to like make each other laugh all day. But I knew that this would be kind of funny, but I knew it was a much darker. And I just was like, I'm just going to write this by myself. I wrote it really fast and then started doing revisions on it. And I luckily found these guys, Sean McKittrick, Ray Mansfield, and Ted Ham from QC Entertainment, who read it. They had just produced Get Out. Well, I saw Get Out while I was writing it. And I was like, I got to fucking write this thing faster, man. Like, I'd already finished a draft, but I was revising and stuff.
And you're pals with Jordan Peele.
Jordan's an old friend. We've been friends since, the 90s. And so they read it and they were like, look, I told them I could shoot it for, not a lot of money. And they said, great. And I, in my mind, I had several people in mind to play the cast, and it just came together.
That's great.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, but it was so exhilarating. I love it.
Where did you shoot it?
We shot it in Chatsworth. It's the first time a movie was shot in Chatsworth that wasn't pornography. It's a fact. No, we found a house in Chatsworth. This lovely family let us post up there, and it was run and gun, and a 19-day shoot.
Whoa!
I knew the thing is like writing a movie that takes place 85% of it takes place in one location is easy. Mm-hmm. Shooting it and making it look different and interesting, right, and having some kind of progression is very hard. So that was a big challenge of making it. How do we make it so it doesn't feel like one of those indies you see where a bunch of friends in a cabin? You know what I mean? We wanted to kind of make it something different and bigger, and so we were able to lock down our cast and this amazing crew, and we shot between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we knew that it was a movie that needed to come out sooner than later because it just, like I said, as we were writing it, things that were like in the fucking script started happening. Like the concept of loyalty, I initially made it about that because I had been reading about Donald Trump for years and knew that he was like obsessed with fucking loyalty, just like Roy Cohn taught him, and so. But I was already writing it, and I would turn on the news, and I would see his cabinet sitting in a circle thanking him, and then I would read a couple weeks later that he closed the door and said to Jim Comey, "Do I have your loyalty?" He's obsessed with loyalty. So everything started seeming so of the moment that we're like, we got to get this out, and we knew that the fall was the perfect hopefully time because. You got Thanksgiving coming up. You got the midterms coming up, and people are really, they're going crazy right now.
Yeah. So you filmed it a year ago, or just under?
We shot it a year ago from now. We were
pre-production?
We were in light prep, getting ready to shoot.
Wow. And you've directed before. You directed some Mindy Project.
I directed Mindy
episodes.
projects. Yeah, I directed some Mindy episodes. I loved directing. Mindy was so great to let me do it. It's when I was a writer on set for many years, and when you're a writer on a TV show, even though technically you kind of have more power than the director, you still have to go through the director. You still have to say, if you want something, if you want, Chris Messina to say a joke and you go to the director and the director doesn't like it, you really can't say, I'll say it anyway. And I just found that it just eliminated the middleman. So I could just go up and say to them, like, hey, do this. So yeah, and I loved it. And it's directing an episode of a TV show, it's so fun, but it's so short. It's like 3 days prep, 4 or 5 day shoot.
Right.
2 days editing, and then you're done. And you really are. It's already you're a new cog in a very well-oiled machine, right? On a TV show, there's a process in place, and this is how the show looks. This is the tone. So you can't really put out a whole lot of individuality on a show. That's really the job of the showrunner and the creator. So kind of going into this and shooting my own narrative that was all me, and it was all on me. It was imposing.
But was it a lot?
Yeah, it was a lot. Oh yeah, I felt. I mean, I had an amazing line producer named Kristen Murtha, who was so just laser focused and prepared, and really, she really just manipulated me in the best possible way. You know what I mean? Protected me from things I didn't need to hear, and made sure the things I did I heard right away, and was just so great. So I couldn't have done it without her.
How much improv was in your film?
Yeah, there was some. Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, to me, unless you're doing a straight up Elizabethan drama, you're gonna want some fucking improv in your movie. To me, if a movie's all improv, I'm that's probably not going to be very good. Yeah. Because it's just too unfocused and scattershot. Yeah. But the great thing about what we do is you have so many years of reps of being in this situation of, I'm on a boat, I'm a ship captain, I'm on a submarine, the submarine's sinking, or I'm a kindergarten teacher and one of my kids just shit his pants. You're always in the moment, right? So in a new situation. So I think if you have that skill set, you want, as a director, you want your cast to do that. But as long as they've nailed the fuck out of what you've written, right? Sometimes you see people who approximate, the line, and if it's the difference between and, okay, fine, but I get mad when someone, an actor, starts approximating the line. I'm no, say the line. Say it as written. Say it exactly as written. And then we do some takes where we open it up a little bit. We start to improvise, because those moments you get when you improvise, those are the real moments, because they're really happening for the first time, as opposed to a script that you've been reading and rehearsing and fucking gone through revisions over and over again. So I always try to get some improv in my movies. And especially a movie like this, which is family Thanksgiving, what's more, improvisational than that? It's just you're at a table, you're talking about shit. So yeah, there was definitely some, especially also too in the chaos, right? The chaos of, we have a lot of violence in our movies, so in the chaos of these bloody fights, you're gonna want those really real live reactions from people that aren't in the script.
Do you use multiple cameras?
Yeah, we had two Arri Alexa minis with these great Panavision lenses. They gave it this really kind of lush, kind of late 60s feel to the movie. And unfortunately, with a movie in a location that you didn't build, it's hard to cross cover. Mm-hmm. On the Mindy Project, it's all about cross covering, right? Because you got me and Mindy, and you're going to put one camera behind her and one camera behind me, and we're going to improvise, and you're going to get both reactions in your set. Can't really do that on a movie, or you can sometimes, but not all the time. And so there was a bit of a learning curve on that.
I feel like Blockers had some of that. Did Blockers have that? The two cameras going at once?
Yeah, Blockers.
That seems like a lot.
But sometimes not. But still not as much as a show. Blockers, we would have to remember some of the stuff we said on one side to make it kind of sync up on the other. And sometimes you forget. So then you go to editing, you don't have the other side. So then you have to fucking bring in the actor and they have to ADR it and on your face. And it's just like, it's a little awkward, but yeah, definitely the more cameras. And then a couple of days we had 3 cameras and that's the fucking best.
Yeah.
Because then you pop off, you get like a nice wide shot too. It's great. So the more cameras, the better.
Because Kate Cannon was directing Blockers.
Yeah.
And she's an improviser
Yeah.
and she has a long history of that. Was that part of having an improviser as a director? And
I think it's someone like Kay who understands like what improv can do when it's done right. You know what I mean? Like Kay really said to me, she's like, hey, for some of these scenes, man, like just go nuts. You know what I mean? Like I got the camera on you and stuff. And I think that really helped the movie because it just, like I said, it just gives it like a more live. So much of that movie, specifically me and John and Leslie, it's very reactive. It's all like, what do you mean they're gonna fucking have sex, or holy shit they're fucking, like it's also, and in those moments you can't be stilted. It has to be so genuine. So to have the freedom to say a new line, even if it's something not even a joke, just like, holy fucking diarrhea shit. You know what I mean? Just something like in the moment, like it's you're saying it for the first time and your face will register it as a little more real. So yeah, it's a weird thing where you want to encourage your cast to improvise, but at the same time, like you have to completely control when they're doing it, because you don't want people just to start improvising and throw the script out, because then you get lost, you get off track, and a lot of people think they can improvise, but like improvising is not just talking. It's like you have to improvise in character, in the context of the scene. It can't just be tangential fucking references and stuff. It has to like one thing I've learned from doing like Neighbors and Neighbors 2 and Blockers is like anything that is like off topic, unless it's like a one beat, it's gonna get cut. Like there's a beat in Blockers that Kay left in, and she's like, I left it in because it's so stupid and it's so funny. And it's like at the start of the scene, I'm like drinking a cup of coffee and I'm like, is this really soy creamer? And it's like, I was so lucky that Kay was like, okay, I'm letting that one slide because it's the start of the scene and it's funny. But like, you got to improvise in context, in the scene, man. You got to keep that scene moving forward. Otherwise, anyone could just sit around and be like, who are you? One of the Ghostbusters? You know what I mean? Like, it's just shit. So you have to really, really, and that's why I.O. was such great training, because it's all in that moment. When you got those great teachers like Craig Kikowski and you know.
Did you have Del?
Del was my director for years. He was. We had him for level 5, and he. I was very, interested to see Del, because I had heard a lot about Del. I'd seen him in movies and stuff, and he came in, and I was like, "Oh, we get to stop class. There's a homeless man who's walked in and is literally pulling cigarette butts out of the ashtray and smoking them." Oh, that's the founder of the theater. Copy that. And he came in, and look, man, Del was very problematic, and Del I don't think could exist in any way.
By the time you saw him, he was like drug addict, right?
I mean, he was when I knew Del, he was. I don't think he was spiking anymore, but I think he was big time painkillers, right? Big time painkillers, and he, for some reason, really took a shine to he taught level 5, and at the end of level 5, he did a show, and he really took a shine to our group, and. One day in class, we just started, he was like, do something, do a play. Just do some kind of play. And we started, someone came out and did a monologue. And then someone else joined them on stage, and they kind of interacted for a second, and then the other person did a monologue. And then kind of seamlessly, the two actors, or the two performers giving the monologue, became actors in the scene. Right. And then we would do that again. And then from there, we would deconstruct everything that we just saw in those two scenes. And it happened very organically. And Del was like, this is brilliant. We're going to put this up. We're going to put this show up. And we got to put up our show and invited a lot of friends. And the form really worked. It was called the Lindbergh Babies form. We were the Lindbergh Babies. That's what we called ourselves. Terrible title. We had a show at 10:30 every Saturday for, I don't know, 2 years. Wow. And Del would come to almost every show. And, he would say things that were insane. But he also gave me one of the best notes ever. And it really kind of like... it kind of like woke me up a little bit. And I still think about it, which was there was a scene going on where like, I can't remember, but I entered as like a really bitchy like sorority girl, like talking like that. And I got a huge laugh. And Del came backstage after the show and he goes, okay, so the show was all right. That cheerleader character, did you like that character? Proud of it? You thought it was cute, Were you proud of that? Did you think it was real? Did you think it was, did you enter that scene to give us truth? And I was like, I don't know. But like, I think about that sometimes. Like, am I being too like, I think at the end of the day, to sum up Del, he just wanted the real. And I think sometimes the problem is he wanted too real. And he would get like, people who weren't even fucking like had zero comedy in them and would get them and throw them up, and you would nurture some of like the not fun parts of improv. Like to me, like if you are doing a show at Improv Olympic, like you can have scenes that have depth and are about sad or scary things. You better be fucking making people laugh. Yeah. Like that was always my shit. Like you could deliver a monologue that had some emotional resonance and was about like an experience you had, but like it was the improviser's job to do a fucking funny scene after that. And sometimes there'd be people who they were like purposely try not to be funny and just try to like act and be emotional, and like I would get like mad at that. I was like, these fucking people are paying fucking $13 to laugh and we're doing maudlin drama, and that was, I think, the bad part of Del. It's just like, go out there and be so raw and real. And I was just like, let's just like it's a comedy show. We can be deep and fun, but like let's be fun and funny, So, but he was good, and I still talk to Sharna. I'm going to do a big show at I.O. there. I'm going to do Armando there, which will be fun. They got a great new theater there, so I don't get up as much as I used to.
Do you miss it?
I love the feeling of being in a show. I love when it's going well. Here's my problem is it's so lame. It's just, I'm just tired by the end of the day. And I have a lot of kids. Yeah. And like a friend of mine the other day said, hey, can you do my show at 10 p.m.? And I just wrote back, LOL. Like a 10 p.m. show, like what fucking galaxy have you traveled here from? But like when I do it, I did a show at this theater in Atlanta called Dad's Garage last year, which was really, really fun. I'm going to go do 2 shows at the Coaltown Theater in Austin cool. on Monday night. Or Sunday night, this Sunday. I'm going to do that there.
I just got back from Chicago and I saw Sarah G.
Oh, my old friend.
Yeah.
She was on Valhalla.
Yeah, that's right. I said, I'm interviewing Ike in a few days. And she goes, he took me to a strip club and bought me a lap dance.
Sure did. I took her to the Admiral Ballroom over on, Peterson. Maybe it's an old school Chicago strip club. Yeah, I remember that. And that's, I still go to a strip club every day.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Every day. Yeah, I'm like Jean-Claude Van Damme. I take all my meetings at strip clubs.
You guys hang out?
Yeah, well, we FaceTime. If I went to a strip club, right, I haven't been to a strip club in at least, since my friend's bachelor party, and he's been married for about 11 years now. If I went to a strip club right now, I would be not happy.
Did you have a bachelor party for yourself?
Yeah, it was disgusting. It wasn't like ribbled. It was like just I was like, I just want to invite like 30 of my buddies, and I want her in a house near the beach, and like I didn't have a lot of money at all, so we rented like a house near the beach in Laguna or what's the other part of Newport.
Okay,
we're in this like kind of shitty house, and I invited like 30 of my friends, and we like cooked and like played like tons of beer pong, and like I will say this, we got in on like a Friday and left on like a Monday morning. I have never in my life smelled a worse fucking odor. And I'm not kidding you. It was 100% farts.
The house?
The house was. And it was because of us. It was... I cooked like a ton of shit. I cook like I love to cook. I cook healthy now, but I would cook like chicken wings with stuff with cheese wrapped in bacon and all this shit. And like we went out to Mexican, and I remember like all Friday night, Saturday, 30 men drinking beer, ripping massive farts, and like the house, like it was like, remember on Seinfeld, the BO episode where the car has BO and they're like, we have to sell it.
Yes,
that was the house, but instead of BO, it was our ass. It was awful.
It was probably like those bathrooms must have been going 24.
Oh, but just that you would walk into the house, you're like, this house smells like. Like Anheuser-Busch's asshole. Like it is like the fucking worst smell ever. Oh, I felt so bad. But we paid it. They took the deposit. Fuck them. Yeah. So we're keeping your deposit. Your ass smells too bad.
If you have to burn the house. Well, Ike, you gave me a hard out. I've kept you a little over.
Dude, this is beautiful. But we got to do part 2.
This, please.
We have movies to talk about. Can I ask a question? On part 2,
yes.
Can we dedicate 10 minutes?
Yeah.
And play the movie game?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Let's play real quick. Just one round, real quick.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
go
name
ahead.
a movie.
Name a movie?
Yeah, do you know this version?
No.
Name a movie, any movie.
Any movie?
Yeah.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I would say Jeffrey Jones. Now, you got to name a movie of Jeffrey Jones.
Howard the Duck.
And I would say Leah Thompson.
I know this movie. Back to the Future.
And I'm going to say... trying to think of a good one for Back to the Future. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just going to go with Glover. Crispin Glover.
Is it Barry?
Is that the one where he's got the rat?
Yeah.
Okay, see, you just got a letter. I just got a letter. M. And now when we come back for part 2 in a few months or whatever, I get to fucking start off again, and I'm going to beat you.
I believe it.
I can't believe I just got a letter on the first try. I'm like, now you know me with trivia. I'm like mortified. I'm going to drive home.
You know what's funny? I
DJ.
played this game with Deborah and some of her co-stars from her show on a train, and I killed all of them because I'm like, guys, I'm not in show business. You guys are in TV and movies. Why am I beating you?
I destroy. So what we got to do is I've been trying to get like a proper game night for this and get like the people who are really good.
Okay.
Obviously, you're very good because you named fucking Barry.
I think that's it.
I think it is. I did that. Mark Duplass is very good. Seth Rogen is very good. My friend Eric Lindbergh is incredible.
I've heard that.
I think the best one is Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright is... It's staggering what he knows.
I believe it.
Okay, well, when I come back, we're going to finish, and I'm going to kick your fucking ass.
I believe that, too. But I'm happy to join in that group.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a fun group. It's a fun group of guys.
Totally is. We met, my girlfriend and I, the last couple of days, we've been binging your movies. Oh. We've had a great time.
Oh, my God.
And I just want to say, before I let you go, in the middle of Blockers, you had this great dramatic scene where you're talking about your daughter, and you're not close with her, and you really feel bad, and you're crying, and in the movie theater I welled up in the movie theater. Oh my God! And it's such a great moment. Do you think you'll do more drama? Do you want to do drama?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I haven't really gotten a chance to do a whole lot because I've really been kind of, once you're kind of like known as a comedy guy, I think the worst thing you could do is if you're known as a comedy guy and all of a sudden you're like, I only do drama now. I think you have to really like let people see you and enjoy you for what they know you for. And I think, I've done that. I think The Oath is a good mix of comedy and drama. Like it definitely, the first half of the movie, you feel like you're watching like it's kind of an antic family holiday dramedy. And then the second half gets pretty heavy and deep and stuff, and we go to some pretty crazy places. So yeah, I want to do everything as long as it's good.
And you auditioned for that Steve Jobs movie, right? As Steve,
as Wozniak, which Seth got, which he was so good at. He was so good at it, and like normally when you know someone who's auditioning and they get it and you don't, you're like, I would have fucking done that better.
Yeah.
He would have done it better. He told me, he's like, you would have done that better than me. I was like, fuck no. Like, I went in and it was like a disaster. And I lied to Danny Boyle, who's like one of my heroes, because he was like, so you read the book. You read the Walter Isaacson book, right? And I was like,
Of course, I read everything.
You fucking read all these books. Of course I read a 1,200-page book. What are you talking about? He's like, so what do you know all about him? Kind of the second part of the book is all about redemption. And I was like, I fucking love redemption, dude.
Middle name's redemption.
Yeah, fucking. It's redemption. But Seth got it, and he was really good, like legitimately good. So I'm gonna do the sequel though. Jobs 2. Still Jobsing. I'm gonna play Woz.
You're the grave digger. Thank you so much.
My God, man, that was so fun.
Do you want to plug The Oath and let people
let me just do a quick. Let me do a quick plug.
Go ahead.
So The Oath is a movie that I'm imploring you to see, only because I think people will like it.
They're gonna love it.
October 12th.
Tiffany
Haddish, John Cho, Carrie Brownstein. These are the people in the movie. It's October 12th. It's going to open in LA and New York. But then the week after that, we're going to go to a lot of cities. So, I know sometimes we're like, I'll just wait till it comes out on Apple or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, this is a movie that like it's uncomfortable and funny and fucking crazy, and like you will want to see it in a theater with people. That much I can tell you. It's like it's like funny stress, and those movies I think are just better to watch.
Maybe it'll be cathartic for people.
It will, because yes, a lot of people are gonna see this movie like, this is my family. This is what's happening to me, and there are just some movies that I think really lend themselves to that collective experience of being in the same room, and this is one of those. So go see it if you live in LA and New York, October 12th. If not, October 19th. It's going to be everywhere. I'm going to be tweeting about it fucking incessantly.
And your Twitter is
at Ike Barinholtz, and I'm not on it as much, only because I'm working a lot. But don't worry, I'm about to fire up a tweet about Eric Trump right now. He's an idiot.
You're working on it.
I was going to do something about how maybe in the new, because he was talking about Bob Woodward, maybe in the new movie, Bob Woodward will still be played by Robert Redford, and Eric Trump will be played by a corpse that just got fucked. I think I'm going to tweet it.
Well, I can't wait to see that. I can't wait. Are you on the Instagram too?
I am on the Instagram. I do the at Ike Barinholtz, and I'll be tweeting or insting all kinds of like food that I'll be eating around the different cities I'll be in.
Delicious.
And hopefully I got some pretty fun people coming to some of these different cities to see the movie. So I'm really excited to hit the road.
Well, I wish you the best of luck with it. I hope it makes $5 million.
Okay. Opening weekend or what? No, if the movie, for the record, if the movie made $5 million, I'd be fucking thrilled. Like, I'm like, whoa, that's like when I was a kid. If you told me one day something you do, you'll make $5 million. I'm like, that's amazing. So we'll start at 5.
A huge success for you, and I hope you'll get to do lots of films in the future. And I hope you do come back.
Part 2 coming soon.
Please do.
We live very close to each other too.
Movie trivia.
Awesome.
There you go, folks. That was my talk with the great Ike Barinholtz. Thanks, Ike, for coming in. So fun to talk with you. By the way, probably some of you noticed, but I fucked up on my movie trivia. And it was not the movie Barry. It is the movie Willard with Crispin Glover, where he has, it's a remake of an old movie, I think with Ernest Borgnine, where he can control rats or something. So I fucked up. So that point is, I guess I have the M now. But thanks for coming on, Ike. That was a lot of fun. So go check out The Oath, coming to theaters this Friday. What did we say? That is, let's see, the 12th. Yes, October 12th. I think that's right. Yes, October 12th. Great. So to plug myself now, just a quick recap of my own plugs. Check me out on Twitter at EJ Scott and at EJ Podcast. Instagram, EJ Scott 1106. EJScott.com for my website. and Running Blind documentary on iTunes, Amazon, and Google Play. Only $2 or $3 to buy or rent it. Money going to a good cause. And that is about it. Please go subscribe on iTunes and iHeartRadio if you have either of those. And I'm on YouTube, but, I'm not on there very much. But you could go check out videos I put up on YouTube. And that is about it. We will see you next time. Thanks again.